Here in my backyard.
Man, I'm happy to be here, bro. I'm happy to be here. Really, I feel like the main focus of my line of questioning is going to be surrounding, VPP Texas, VPP?
Yep.
VPP. Who y'all are, like why y'all started what you started. But yeah, I mean, tell me a little bit about what VPP is, kind of on like a high level overview, kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I can start with an acronym because it's more of an industry term. It actually stands for virtual power plant. Okay. It's not really virtual because there are physical items like physical batteries, but it does the job of a power plant. Whereas typically in Texas, if with growing population, Houston growing at 10%, they can't build power plants fast enough. And even if they could, no one wants to live near one. So typically when you look at your electric bill, you'll see a delivery charge. Sometimes it's more than the actual energy charge. Just to get it from the power plant that's hundreds of miles away, somewhere out in the desert where they're burning natural gas or coal, or maybe it's a wind power plant. To ship it all the way into town, it costs huge amounts to use those transmission lines. So virtual power plants allow you to, first of all, create energy, harvesting all that sun that's hitting the roof, storing it in the batteries. Typically we can give people 3 of these. And then during times of high demand, they push power back to the grid to prevent those rolling brownouts and blackouts that are common in other states. Then if there is actually outage, people aren't allowed to push power back to the grid. So the batteries are there to keep the house going. So it can back up the lights, the Wi-Fi, keeping food from going bad. It can back up local AC like a mini split or a window unit. Sometimes it can back up even a main AC if it has a soft start. Not that we promise that, but it's possible. We've done it before. So yeah, it can back up someone's homes for weeks. As long as the sun comes up, even on a cloudy day like today, that solar will recharge the battery.
Awesome. So, a couple months ago, Houston got hit by, huge hurricane. A lot of people lost power. So you're saying if I had one of these, then I would have, had power during that time?
Yeah, it works similar to like a UPS system for like a desktop computer. So it protects the home. It's like always on, unlike a generator that has to kick on and ramp up. So there's no delay. It turns on just like that. And that way the lights shouldn't even flicker. The power stays on, and then can run the home all night. Typically 18 hours to sometimes 2 days if you really stretch it, just battery alone. But during the day, it will recharge. I have someone who told me just yesterday he can see the watts recharging from the street lights and the full moon as well. Oh,
wow. That's really interesting. So you're saying that, y'all's product also, what do you call this? What do you call like this like box right here?
Yeah, so what we have here is, what you're looking at is the exterior. Inside there's modules, so there's an upper, a lower, and then a back and a front. So each battery is 20 kilowatt hours, and we can run them, we can have 3 of them per home, and so that's 60 kilowatt hours total. This isn't the only brand. I would say this is the one of the most popular brands because it's from Germany. It's their German technology. It's a brand owned by Shell. Shell has not just oil and gas. They have, they're in the renewables. They're in a lot of different energy technology. So this brand has been doing the virtual power plant concept in Germany for 8+ years. And Shell bought them. They expanded, and now they're manufacturing them in the States. And they're on their 11th generation of battery. So they're made of iron, extremely safe, unlike the lithium batteries in like cars or cell phones that are lightweight, that sometimes have issues. These are made of iron, so the chemistry is much more safe than anything in an electric car.
Wow. Wow, that's elite, So y'all make y'all I guess buy these batteries from people, you know, in Germany or like whatever. But y'all make the technology like inside. Is that how?
The technology is already there. It's been around for 8+ years. Obviously, it has been improved upon over the past 8 years because they're on their 11th generation, but they're made in Georgia.
Okay.
So when they come to Texas, they come by the 18-wheeler, the truckload into the warehouses. So the technology is already developed. It's been around. These are one of the few batteries that are designed to actually work as a virtual power plant, like a network of batteries, like 1,000 homes all working together. But no, we don't have to develop the technology. We don't have to do the coding. We don't have to mine the lithium.
Yeah.
We don't have to build the factory. It's already there. Our job.
Sorry.
No problem. I like bugs. Our job is to bring it to market. So we're the ones who make videos and content just like this, and we work directly with homeowners to get them signed up and on a wait list. That's like our sole job. So we don't have to do the back end. We just do the client-facing relationship. Obviously, we don't have like a truck around the corner, like waiting on the cul-de-sac. It does take weeks to get on the wait list to get installed, and then once the actual install happens, CenterPoint has to sign off and say everything was done properly. You know, the electricians sign off on everything. But yeah, all we do is we just meet with people. We show them the numbers. If it makes sense, we help them enroll and put them on the wait list.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of an exclusive deal, you know, like your home has to qualify for it, right? Because it sounds like it's going to be more cost efficient. It's going to save people money. How does the application process look like? You know, like what does someone need to do to get one of these like in their home?
Yep. The first step is kind of determining based off the zip code. There's only certain areas that are being funded. So a lot of this is all coming from like Department of Energy, tax credits, not the residential tax credits. Those went away at the end of last year, but there's still some business credits for not only batteries, but the solar systems as well. So less than 10% of Texas residents can get this.
Okay.
It's really only areas that are in special energy communities. So Dallas, Fort Worth, we're not really incentivized to do up there. We can if people come to us. City of Dallas, City of San Antonio, a lot of the rural areas that have co-ops, they can't switch energy providers, so we can't help them. Mostly focused in the Houston area with CenterPoint, Texas, New Mexico Power. So up in the woodlands, like with Entergy, they can't switch. So the process works like this. Someone hears about us, they go to our website, they book a call, they send us their bill. The engineer will meet with them online. We don't have to drive to their house. Should only take 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how many questions they have. And then it's all like e-agreements to get on the wait list, and then they can schedule a site survey from there. So someone shows up, takes photos, they can show them where in the garage, or if need be on the outside, the batteries will be installed, and they'll be able to confirm exactly how much they will save, as well as how many batteries they'll be able to get.
Yeah, awesome. You know, tell me about a good kind of success story. Tell me about a good success story that y'all have had. Someone that just, got one of y'all's batteries and was really, really excited, or, saved a lot of money. Yeah, tell me about that.
Probably Chris up in Cyprus. I just visited with him on, Sunday. I went up to his house to check it out. But when he came to us, he's a busy guy. He has like 3 jobs and, a main job and some side hustles, but he was too busy. A lot of people are too busy to shop around and get a good electric rate. Right. Sometimes summer is the worst time to go and shop for it. He was paying close to 30 cents after all the delivery fees and charges and other.
How much is that a month?
So his bill was in the summertime $700 to $800.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and so we got him signed up. He switched to the 12-cent rate early, before even the batteries got installed. And what we do is balance billing as well. So not only do we give people a lower rate of 12 cents all in, including delivery fees, but we give them balanced billing, meaning we look at their yearly usage, we divide it by 12, so they just pay the average throughout the year. So his bill is like right at $200.
Oh my goodness.
$250, yeah, for the whole year.
So he's saving y'all saved him about $600-700 a month. I mean, that's pretty unreal.
Hundreds, yeah, and in the total year, yeah, there's people out there that will come to us. They have a high rate, they're big users, and they're saving $2,000 or more. I would say the average, small home, maybe an older couple living in the home, maybe a few $100s. I think 700 is maybe the average, but yeah, there's people out there that are paying or saving $2,500. We can link to the video, but he literally told me that he's getting a G-Wagon delivered the next day because he's saving so much power.
Oh wow, that's incredible. Wow. So y'all are changing lives out here. Like, you're not just providing an alternative source of energy that's probably is. I mean, it's y'all's is y'all's energy, like, I guess, how do I say this? Like, this is like renewable, right?
Yeah.
So it's obviously better for like the planet. So like, you're not only using renewable energy, so like you're like making like the planet better, like you're also saving people money. Wow, it's actually a very good thing that you'll have.
It's not just renewable energy, because you can sign up for those renewable energy plans online, and they'll be like, oh yeah, there's some solar farm out in the middle of nowhere. But I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like solar fields. I like how they look. They're still dependent on the grid, to ship it through those massive transmission lines. There's some huge transmission lines in the reservoir back behind this. And you're still dependent on the grid, meaning if there was another big winter freeze, you're out of power. And then the other kind of common thing people will do if they're like a big fan of renewable energy is they'll go and buy their own solar. And typically the way people go about doing that is to get into a solar loan. And the most common, thing is like, put $30,000 in finance and then pay it off over 30 years. So you're responsible for all that equipment. With this, you get the best of both, because you don't have to buy the equipment. You just pay that normal electric bill. You're just paying for the electricity you use. And you don't get just solar, but you get backup batteries as well, which if someone wanted to go out and buy like a Tesla Powerwall, they're paying typically $10K for each battery. With these are the equivalent of, when you get all three, it's like 4.5 Tesla Powerwalls in equivalent battery capacity.
Wow. Man, this seems like a good deal. So, I know if I get my first home, I'm coming straight to you. I'm seeing if I qualify. Who is the ideal customer for y'all's energy business? Like, who is the ideal customer? What types of, qualities and attributes do their house have, and everything?
We can wait like a minute for the helicopter to go through. Ask that question one more time.
For sure. You like the question? It was good, right? No, I'm kidding. All right. So who is y'all's ideal customer? I know whenever I buy my first home, I'm coming straight to y'all. So who is y'all's ideal client?
First of all, we don't discriminate. There's a few criteria that we're looking for. The first is someone has to own their house. If you're just renting or someone else is on title, we can't help you.
Okay.
The second is you have to be able to choose your energy provider. So CenterPoint, Texas, New Mexico Power, AEP, even up in DFW area with Encore. If someone can switch and choose, that's good.
Okay.
The third is with this kind of deal, people, it does have a solar component to be able to recharge the battery. So someone has to have a roof that's not busted, have some decent life. As long as the roof is like under 15 years old, that should be fine. We don't really check credit. People just need to have a history of paying their bills. Okay. So 600 is like the minimum. And then, certain neighborhoods in Texas have just like tons of tree coverage. My sister, for example, her house just has way too much shade.
Okay.
And so as long as someone fits that, we can help them. and at least meet with them and run the numbers. From there, it kind of goes into the site survey process. Someone will come out, look at their electrical.
Yeah.
We have people that come to us and they say, well, I'm in a flood area. I'm going to be disqualified, right? Other battery companies or other battery options might disqualify you. We don't. A flood zone is not an issue at all. The second is outdoor. Sometimes people will have no garage, or garage is tight with cars, or they just don't have space or preference. We can now install batteries outside. That's a non-issue.
Yeah.
And then the other issue is panel upgrades. There's companies out there that will say, oh, we have to charge you up front for the panel to get upgraded. I've seen some people pay $3,000 or more for main panel upgrade because we're getting the federal funding. We don't charge people for that. So if it passes, everything else is good. We'll include a main panel upgrade if it's needed.
Tell me more about that. So, it sounds like you've got to like your house has to qualify. If your house does qualify, if it gets enough sun, if the roof isn't more than 20 years old, then it sounds like y'all can install one of these bad boys and save your customers money, right? But tell me more about this federal program that y'all are kind of taking advantage of, and how it can help y'all's clients pay less on their energy bill.
Yeah. So Department of Energy has a huge budget. I mean, they have all these programs all over. One of them is called virtual power plant. They have a whole page on the Department of Energy's website about virtual power plants. This is the only one. There's ones in California they're funding. There's commercial projects that get funding. So you can, just go to the Department of Energy's website and search virtual power plant and read about it and why they're funding it, and why it's more cost effective than just building, brand new power plants, or like the gas bleaker plants, I believe they call them, like the emergency ones that kick on when demand is through the roof.
Right.
But yeah, they're funding them. In terms of the outlook, the timeline, the funding is there for the next 2 years. After that, it's uncertain whether they'll continue. So it could be the chance that after 2 years of funding, all these battery programs, they'll say, oh, Texas now has enough battery capacity. We don't need to keep funding this anymore. Now people can just go back to buying batteries for $10,000 each if they need that, or going back to buying Generacs for $10,000. Who knows? That could happen. So it's kind of while it's flowing, or while the funding is there, sign up, see if someone can get it. In the past, there was something called a residential tax credit, and that didn't really apply to battery only. It had to be included with a solar system, and typically people had to buy the equipment and then they'd have to file the paperwork themselves and claim it as a refund. It was difficult, and you weren't sure if you were actually going to get it. But with this, you don't have to do all that paperwork. We handle that for the person who owns the home. We pass the savings down to them, and they just pay a lower fixed rate.
It's interesting that not many people know about this federal kind of program for the virtual power plants, and it's not advertised enough, right? I mean, the government already takes so much of our tax money and so much of our money, but I feel like they should be advertising the fact that they're almost giving American citizens an opportunity to pay less on their energy bill. But yeah, I'm gonna look at virtual power plants. I mean, right when I get home, and how the government's funding them. So just to learn more about that. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of grants and stuff out there. If when people first start applying for universities, they realize how many scholarships are out there. There's so many different programs out there.
Oh yeah.
There's no way for them to all be advertised, because the actual advertising to get it to market is actually a huge cost. So we'd rather do it organically through
Right.
podcasts and live shows rather than just like billboards and radio and TV, because that's not really the people have lower trust in those types of media. They'd rather like just see that it's real and like see people who actually have it.
Yeah. Speaking of the amount of people that have it, I've been thinking throughout this conversation, like how many people like actually have these virtual power plants like at their house. So how many people have you helped like save money, and like how many people have actually taken advantage of y'all's virtual power plant offering?
Yep. So there's kind of a few different tiers. We're not the only virtual power plant. Personally, like our team, we've helped hundreds so far.
Yeah.
This year it's going to be in the thousands.
Oh wow.
But the very first power plant was kind of demonstrated right after the 2021 freeze, where Tesla actually showed that all of their batteries could be kind of remotely work together to form like a large battery and prevent power outages during peak demand. And so once Tesla showed that, they were the first one. People who sign up for that, it's more of like an opt-in. So people who already paid for their Tesla batteries to be installed, they could opt in to get like credits back. The second one, there's a handful, I won't list them all. There's commercial virtual power plants that are out in the middle of the desert, like some massive battery.
Yeah.
Like a grid battery is typically like as large of a tractor trailer, and it's typically parked right by a substation. That acts as a virtual power plant as well. There's Base Power out of Austin. They raised $1 billion. They got a bunch of money from virtual VCs like Andreessen Horowitz and others.
Yeah.
So then there's privately funded ones, or privately backed or privately owned.
Yeah.
That don't have the VC funding, that don't have all the monthly fees and the upfront cost as well.
Yeah.
There's even generators out there that will turn on during peak demand and act as a virtual power plant. So a virtual power plant doesn't have to be a battery exclusively. It can just be a bunch of energy sources coming online at the instant that they're needed. So yeah, we're doing hundreds last year. We're doing thousands this year. We're scaling, and then there's a lot of install crews that have been activated across Texas. So it's not just like one electrical contractor doing it. There's tens, like lots of teams that are going all around Texas to get people installed.
Yeah. That's awesome. Bro, was it like a cricket or something?
Yeah, you can tell it's real because we're in the backyard. We're in lawn chairs. We have bugs on the battery.
Dude,
it's a real video.
Bro, that dude was like yelling. All right. I had a question, but I completely. Oh yeah. You know what? Virtual power plants. All right. So they're a thing. We know that in 2 years, they might not be as popular, right? Because they're going to cost a lot more to install, right? But for now, now's the time to buy in, because the government is making it kind of cheaper for the average citizen to get a virtual power plant, installed in their house. So, what makes y'all different than the competition? What makes VPP Texas? What makes VPP Texas different than base power?
Yeah. There's going to be two things: larger battery capacity and lower fees. So with their battery, they're given one or two. It's typically installed only outside the home. So a lot of houses in Texas, they have a backyard. Not everyone has large backyards, and so certain municipalities, the city of Houston, if you only have like an area like this, that back there it gets to like 6 feet wide, and the battery's like 3 feet wide, they might say, "Oh, we can't do it because we don't have enough space."
Right.
We typically, whenever chance we get, we install the battery inside the garage. That way it can be protected from the elements and last a lot longer. The warranties on these are much longer than anything as well, and then larger capacity. So each of these are 20. So 3 of them combined would be 60 kilowatt hours total, whereas like one of their batteries would be 25 each, so 50 total. So slightly more larger capacity. And then on the other difference is going to be less fees. So they're a normal retail energy provider. They try to typically get people to sign up and switch to their electric plan as soon as possible. Out the door, I've seen people typically paying 14 to 15 cents after the delivery fees and charges, because with Base you're not producing your own electricity; it's just storing it. So let's say during peak demand, a hot summer day, and the battery needs to be used to push power back to the grid, it can't recharge until the night when it's cheap again. So it can drain the batteries. Whereas with this plan, we're pairing it with a solar system, so it can recharge the battery in the middle of the day. And if there's long-term outages, it can recharge. So, weeks, some serious long-term outages that lasted multiple days, the batteries can recharge. Whereas with Base, after 18 hours or a day or two, batteries will drain. You're back to square one. Go out getting a generator, waiting in line for fuel.
Yeah.
That's if you paid an extra $1,000 for a generator recharge port, and then you have to manually do it. With this, you could be on the other side of the world. You could be on a cruise ship, and you could just be on your app being like, oh yeah, my battery's recharging. All my security cameras, all my Wi-Fi is staying on. I don't have to call a neighbor or go wait in line for fuel.
Right. That's awesome. Well, it must be very, very comforting just knowing that you have, backup electricity for cheap. I know a lot of people who, have generators and it costs them a fortune, and it works half the time, it doesn't. So this is a really good option. So what happens when one of these things breaks? What happens when there's a technicality and there's a issue? Like who do y'all have to kind of respond to any problems if they do happen with y'all's system?
Yeah. So nothing lasts forever. It's kind of like the same situation if something broke in the power plant, or if someone hit a power line. It's not your responsibility.
Yeah.
The cool thing is when we install 2 to 3 batteries, they're wired separately. So one of them going down won't affect another one.
Okay.
And obviously, battery technology probably lasts, 10, 12 years before they need upgrading. So we warranty them for a lot longer than that, meaning you can actually expect upgrades to the latest tech when it comes out in 10 years or so. So what we would do is, if something's not working, we're actually not able to make a profit because we're not able to stabilize the grid. We're not making money off the actual owner of the house. So if the battery's not working, we're losing money. We're highly incentivized to come out, replace one of the modules, diagnose it, update the firmware, whatever's required to get it back up and running.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's very, very smart. Okay, so that's also super interesting, like the fact that VPP Texas is not profiting. Like y'all are not profiting off of y'all's clients. Like you're more profiting off of like this government incentive, right?
There's a couple of ways in terms of like streams of income compared to like the typical retail provider, where the only way they can make money is that spread from the wholesale rate to the full retail rate.
Right.
The first is upfront, the Department of Energy community kind of bonus. That's just a bonus. It's just a way to not charge anything up front, because electricians are not cheap to hire. They have a lot of demand right now with all the data centers being built. The main really revenue source is the energy arbitrage. Filling it up at night when it's really cheap, during peak demand in those hot summer months where everyone's running the AC, pushing power back to stabilize the grid. Because the true market rate of power can get all the way up to 30, 40 cents. That's like the bread and butter. 2 years in, 3 years in, that's when they'll get their ROI from the battery cost. And then kind of the third revenue stream is they have investors that want those tax credits. And so when they have investors that fund millions into these programs, they get to write off, their profits from other sources by investing in these tax credits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, similar to oil and gas, because oil and gas has a lot of tax benefits for people who invest in like drilling and exploration.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just oil and gas that gets all the tax benefits. It's some clean energy has tax credits too.
Yeah, and it seems like y'all are really taking advantage of these tax credits that the government is giving you, and you're not just a big corporation trying to abuse y'all's clients for money. No, I mean, you are really trying to help people lower their energy bill, and you're benefiting, not from y'all's clients' loss, right, or like y'all's like clients' like loss of money. From that spread, you're more benefiting from like the government, the tax benefits that you're getting, and those bonuses too. That's good that. I feel like VPP Texas doesn't have that corporate feel, like that corporation feel where everyone is just about profits and they're kind of making profits off of people's like downfalls almost, right? Like, but yeah, that's great that that you're kind of saving the average American citizen money. So how much is it to install a virtual power plant? Like at someone's house. I mean, how much does it cost to get this backup power at someone's house? Yeah,
typically if you were to go out and get like a generator quote or call like another battery company, maybe one that's based in Austin, Texas, you would pay a couple $100s, not $1,000 or so.
A generator too is probably around.
They'll have one price, like if you're walking through Costco, they'll say, hey, it's only this. And then once you say, okay, I want to sign up, then they'll say, oh, the install fee is this much. We do not charge anything up front. So the whole cost to meet with us, it's all fronted. You don't get charged for that. The only, even the permit process, getting everything approved, we cover. The only thing someone would pay for is after everything has been installed and activated, they'd use the power for a full 30 days. They get that first electric bill, and then they would only be paying 12 cents times however much electricity they use. So they can use as little as they want, as much power as they want. They're just getting a flat rate for their power.
Oh, okay. So like there's no install fee. You're not paying hundreds of dollars in hidden fees. The average client of y'all is just paying for the power, and it's at a reduced rate. Currently. Essentially.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say that's going to last forever.
Right, because the government's tax benefit in 2 years might go away, right?
It could go away. They might change it. Obviously, there are corporations involved in this.
Yeah.
We're not the corporations. We're like the people. We're the ones connecting the people to it.
Yeah.
So we're really advocating for them. We represent them. We connect it to them to the program. We make sure all the T's are crossed, everything's in order to get them approved for this to be installed. So the corporations are making a profit; they're just not making it off the people. Someone in this kind of setup, someone doesn't have to lose for someone else to win. They can both win together.
Yeah, I love that. Honestly, if I had my own house, I would I'd highly consider this, and also I'd honestly want to apply. It saves you money, and in this economy, anything that can save you money, I think, is worth really looking into.
Yeah.
So, especially if you can choose your energy bill, right? Because this is not something that the average person thinks about, right? Everyone is just kind of satisfied with their energy bill, and they just think it's something that costs them a lot of money and that they can't, really do anything about, right? But this is awesome that y'all are giving people a second option, right? A choice to make the switch, a choice to switch to the virtual power plant energy, industry, right? That's awesome. I'm trying to think of kind of more questions to ask, but I feel like you've really answered all my questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell that you're honestly really, really passionate about the virtual, power plant industry and where it's going. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of potential in it. I think a lot of it is more commercial. Like it is a more commercial term. Like typically when like a retail energy provider would say, oh, we have a virtual power plant, it's just like, oh, we have access to like generators or something that can be turned on or activated if need be. But yeah, at the end of the day, a virtual power plant is just a battery. It's connected to other batteries. They work together, but they're like dual purpose. They help to stabilize the grid, but they also, when the grid's down, they keep the person's house powered.
Yeah. And do y'all work with kind of small businesses? Say if you have a tire shop or like a machine shop, do y'all work with small businesses too? Like right now, like commercial warehouses, or is it just more residential?
I would say that it's like 90% residential. There's some commercial ones we can connect business owners with, but the requirement for that is they need to be using at least 200 kilowatt hours a year. So that's about 10 times the normal usage of a home. So if manufacturing or like more commercial warehouses, they can do something like this, it would be a larger outdoor battery, like 4 feet wide by maybe 6 feet high by, it could be like 8 feet wide. It's like one of those massive things outside.
Yeah.
They'll get a discount on their electric rate as well, and then they'll be able to use backup power. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
we're able to help people who have kind of commercial warehouses or something that has just a consistent use of power year round. So manufacturing could get backup power as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're not just limited to residential, but that's your primary focus right now. You got 90% of your clients on that. Man, this almost seems like too good to be true.
Yeah, I went up to someone, he was up in Spring, what was it, just a few days ago. We can put his video link by, but I asked him like, what do you tell if like a neighbor or a friend told you it's too good to be true? And he's like, yeah, I think it still might be too good to be true. I'm like, well, why did you get it installed then? He's like, because it checked all the boxes.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it really
yeah.
truly does.
Sometimes people just see typically what's in it for them. They don't need to like, as long as they know that it's like gonna benefit them, oftentimes they're down to lower their bill and have backup power.
Yeah.
It's like when you go out and buy a car, you don't need to know how all the engine works. But as long as you're like, oh, it'll get me to work every day, it'll get my kids to soccer practice, they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned that typically energy companies, vary their prices, right? It goes from like 17 cents per kilowatt to maybe 20 cents per kilowatt. Like, is that how it is, or is it fixed?
So no one actually buys variable rates anymore. Like everyone has a fixed plan. However, there are certain things that don't make it the same. The first is sometimes people sign up for these free nights plans. Those are great for maybe 10% of the people. Like people who like have a factory job, they only come home to sleep, meaning they can turn off their power all day. Man, you're gonna save so much money. I've seen 1 or 2 people that really take advantage of the free nights plans. Some people have like a discounted like evenings plan. Those can help, but if you have like a pool that's running or like kids that are running around or someone's working from home, typically you're gonna get it's not gonna work. It's not gonna be better for you.
Yeah.
The other thing I've seen is some people have discounts in the summer. They'll say, hey, you get $100 discount for using this much power. Like let's say over 2,000 kilowatt hours, then you get $100 discount on your bill. Meaning if you go right under that, then you don't get that discount. And so that can create, at the end of the day, a variable rate. Meaning if you get every single bill for the whole, every month of the year. You get the total amount they charge you. You divide it by the total amount of kilowatt hours you used. Typically, it varies slightly. It might be 16 cents one month, 17 or 18 cents another month, especially with those like summer discounted programs, which end up being a variable rate. So not only do we switch people to a fixed rate, but we give them balanced billing, meaning throughout the entire year, it's the same dollar amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and throughout the whole year, let's just toss out an example there. What is the average, spending of the average person's energy bill a year, and how does that compare to y'all's average energy bill?
Yeah, let's give them like the benefit of the doubt. I would say like a normal home, a family of 4, they might have an average bill of like $170 to $200 for a whole year. Let's say they're only paying 14 to 15 cents after everything. They did their, as much as they could. They shopped around for a lower fixed rate. They signed up, when it was cheapest. We could still lower their bill about 20 to 30% to that 12-cent all-in rate, and then save them $10,000 from buying a Generac, like a standby generator, or $1,000 or $2,000 if they were wanting to get like the standby, not the non-standby, the pull-out manual start.
Oh yeah.
Or physical start.
Yeah.
Generators. So like even if someone has everything set up, they can save, and I would say about 30 to 40% of the people who come to us, they already have a generator, or they don't even have outages. They just like the idea and the peace of mind of having a lower rate with backup power.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a huge deal. I think a lot of us are scarred from all the Texas floods and losing power recently with the hurricanes. I think it's really good to have that peace of mind, knowing that your house is secure, knowing that you've got that power, and also having that, decreased rate because of the government's tax bill is tax benefit is a very nice kind of added bonus to it. So right now, y'all's average kind of cost is 12 cents a kilowatt. Is that it?
It's the cost they pay. The only thing they pay is for the electricity they use. And that's the 12-cent all-in rate compared to a normal electric bill, which I typically see bills are maybe 14 to 15 cents. Now, it's not counting the people who maybe signed up for like a plan 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They called in, they got a special plan that lasted like extremely long term.
Yeah.
Maybe they tell us, oh, I still have a 10-cent plan.
Oh,
Sure.
I mean, might as well stick with that. I mean, if it's...
It depends how much you would value having backup power, or you could just wait, for that to expire.
Right. So how do y'all's clients like how do I know that in 5 years from now you're not just gonna hike up the rate, right? What if we go to war or something and energy prices skyrocket?
Yeah.
Like, how do I know that y'all's price will stay consistent?
It's going to be similar to when you sign up for an electric plan on like Power to Choose or electricityplans.org, one of those Texas websites, where when you sign up for something, it says in writing, just like when you get a car or get a mortgage, your rate is this much, your monthly payment is this much, it's, going up, this certain percentage. So everything we do is in writing, including the warranties. And so when someone signs up for this, we're able to project how much power is going to be produced from the solar component over the long term, because it has manufacturer's warranties. And then as well, since everything is warranted and insured, we can say, hey, the system will produce this much over the next 2 decades. And so whatever happens in the world doesn't matter because we're not buying it, or it's not being produced from natural gas or oil. It's pretty much, we try to get them to 100% of their power, being produced there from the sun that's hitting their roof every single day. They're still going to be connected to the grid, but kind of as in a do you say, in a token connection.
Like a digital connection of some sort.
Yeah, the meter's still going to be there. They're not going to be like off grid, but they're not going to be dependent on the grid.
Right.
So I literally had someone earlier today who showed me a negative bill.
How does that work?
It's because she's producing so much power, and the batteries are filled up enough that, and she's not using very much. Maybe she's not really cranking her AC, that she's producing more power than she's pulling from the grid.
So she's able to sell that excess and like power.
It's all credits. So like that negative balance on her bill, she's not like going to get money.
Oh, well, I mean, she still gets a credit for like the next month's energy bill?
She gets credits.
Oh, that's incredible. It's kind of like getting cash back from like a credit card almost. That's so funny. Wow, I love that. I have not thought about that.
Yeah. So some people, when they come to us, they say, hey, I have plenty of roof space, and I plan in the next few years to get an electric car or two, or I plan to build a pool, or, you know, my family is going to grow over time. I'd rather have extra power, and so we can give them, you know, 10-20% more than what they're currently using.
Wow. Wait, so what if someone has a second property? What if someone has a second property and they install, you know, one of y'all's virtual power plants, or like, you know, sorry, I keep on like addressing y'all like, I don't know how to address like because you're like a broker, like a middleman almost, right?
We are a marketing agency, a sales agency.
Yeah. So
the brand that we got is VPP Texas. So we're not doing other stuff. All we do is this one thing.
Okay, so I guess like if someone has a second property and y'all were to install or help them install a virtual power plant, what would that look like?
Yeah, it'd be just like signing up for an electricity plan at that house. We have people that have 2 meters on the same property, like the same lot, but 2 different meters, and we can sign them up. As long as their name is on title, or if they can prove, you know, if it's in a trust or LLC that they're the ones who own it, we can sign them up. So we have people that have multiple properties, or like an Airbnb that they've done.
Oh, okay. And does that work as like an extra source of income for them sometimes, or like is it more like it'll just save them a lot of money per month?
So I wouldn't switch. If someone has like a vacant property, I would say no. But if someone has either a rental or Airbnb, yes, it'll save them a ton of money. If it's like a long-term rental, they can make money on it. So just like how when the renters make their pay their monthly rent, typically there's a spread between the mortgage payment and how much they're charging the renters for that. That's how they make cash flow on their rental properties. They can do the same with the electric bill. So they can have their electricity bill fixed at 12 cents all in, and then they can be charging the tenant the market rate, which is completely fair, like 16 cents all in. So it's just an extra revenue stream, larger spread, and typically tenants are down with it. It's just a amendment on the end of the rental agreement that says, hey, instead of paying the electric, and instead of having you to shop around and find a low rate, we'll take care of it. You'll just pay it directly every month, just like rent. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And let's be real, no one really reads the terms and conditions at the end of those lease agreements anyways. So I mean, I feel like the tenants won't really care. I mean, if someone does have like a rental,
it would be in their best interest because it's one less thing they have to worry about. And then if they're like the type of tenants that have, they're working from home, then it would definitely be a perk. Especially like Airbnbs, I could see it being a perk. If there's like, it's on the coast, one of those like vacation rentals.
Yep.
I could definitely see it helping, when there's potential outages.
Yeah,
it's just a less of an inconvenience.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people who have homes in Galveston, for example, and they rent them out on Airbnb. If VPP Texas can save them a couple $100 a month, I'm sure that they'd hear y'all out. Or How much can y'all save people a month? Like it's like what, like 100, 200 bucks?
Yeah, typically Airbnb homes come about to be the same as like those power users. You know, a nice Airbnb will have a pool. You know, people are going to be leaving the doors open when they come and when they arrive, bringing in their suitcases.
Yeah.
Typically they don't care. You know, typically people treat it almost like a hotel and they just crank up the AC.
Yeah.
And don't treat it always the same as they would at their own house. So I think a lot of Airbnb owners though are pretty savvy.
Yeah.
You know, they probably have a decent rate. Maybe they're paying, you know, 14, 15 cents. So they might be able to save, you know, 10% on their electric bill, which is worth it over the long term, but also they get backup power. So let's say 3 or 4 years down the road when they sell that Airbnb property, they're selling it with batteries, which, you know, these are worth $10,000 each. So it's just a perk, you know, when they're selling a property. It's like, hey, nice house, great views, comes with a pool and backup power. It's like a fortress.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. So each of these things are $10,000.
Like in value. If you like,
Are you serious? Wow.
We're wanting to go out and like buy it, just pay cash. And own it, and it not to be, you know, helping the grid at all. Yeah, they're not cheap.
$10,000 for this. That's pretty unreal. I mean
lithium isn't cheap to mine.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. Wait, so y'all are basically giving y'all's customers a $10,000 battery almost for free, like just to kind of like, you know, make it simple. Y'all are helping people install these virtual power plants in their garages or outside their homes, and the value of one of these things is $10,000.
One. So a lot of times people are getting three. But
3? Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
Three in a row. They have to have some spacing, but I don't always use the word given away because they can't, like, you know, it's not like water bottles or, you know, energy drinks. They have to stay attached to the house.
Okay.
They can't be, what's it called? Tampered with.
Yeah.
And you can't like go out and sell it on eBay.
Yeah.
So like, I try to not use the word free too much. Nothing is free in life. Someone has to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's just they're not having to.
The
foot
government
the bill.
is paying for it though, right?
Yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, wow. Like I'm still kind of shocked that one of these things costs $10,000, and yeah, I mean that must be like why like you know the technology is so advanced. I mean, because wow, $10,000. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if I'm, you know, kind of ruining the tape, but man, $10,000 and the government is footing the bill. Wow.
Well, they're paying for a lot of things that are a larger waste of money, but to kind of bring it like down to earth.
Yeah.
Just think of that meter on the side of your house. Like, that's worth a couple $100 at least. You know, a lot of people a year or two ago got upgraded to like the digital meter. No one really has the one that spins around. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that does its job. It stays on the house. It belongs to the delivery company, whether that's CenterPoint, Texas, New Mexico Power, Encore, AEP. It's just something you don't mess with. You don't have to worry about. It's kind of going to sit there in the background. It's the same thing with the batteries. They're just worth a little bit more. They're just going to sit there, work, and if the power ever goes out, they're going to be powering your home. So it's kind of like a dormant system that's on, but you don't notice until there's an actual outage.
Yeah, and if there is an outage, you don't have to lift a finger, right? It just automatically, you know, keeps your power on. I guess, if that makes sense. That's awesome.
Exactly.
If I had a house, I would genuinely get one now. I mean, man, so I really hope that this program stays active.
Yeah.
You know, after these 2 years. So, I mean, do you think that it's gonna, like, it's going to stay active for like, a long time.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's like a political issue. I think it benefits everyone. Power outages suck no matter who it happens to. I don't wish it on anyone.
Yeah.
For us, like, we can always only hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. So it really, we have the fire under us really right now to do as much as we can to help as many people as possible. If it ends in 2 years, we did everything we could. So I just, when I think about it, I'm like, I want to just leave it all on the line.
Yeah.
Do the best we can to help as many people as possible. If it extends, we're going to keep our heads in there, continue to help people. If not, I'll find some other way to bring value.
Yeah, of course. So, do you think that, like, VPPs are the future? Like, do you think that, in the future, like most homes eventually will switch to like a virtual power plant energy system?
I don't think every single person needs to have a battery in their home. So like, I think maybe 10 or 20%, 10% of the houses, if they had this backup power, we wouldn't have to have those outages in the summers, those rolling brownouts. So no, not every home needs to sign up. Really, the first 10% of homes that sign up don't have to pay for it. Then people are going to have to buy a generator or something, or fork out the money for a battery if they want it to be quiet. But virtual power plants might be new to Texas, but they've been around in Australia for 8+ years, in Germany for almost 10 years. So they've been around. They work great, and so that's why they're growing really fast, because it's kind of the start. But maybe in 2 or 3 years, a decent percentage of Texans will have it, and it won't be like, it will kind of taper off in terms of the growth percentage.
Yeah, man. Well, hopefully it doesn't taper off, because I mean, it seems like you're really saving a lot of people a lot of money. So, but it also kind of seems like a exclusive thing, right? That isn't going to be around for a while. So, I mean, might as well take advantage. If you own a home and you're listening and you're mad about the price of your energy bill, talk to this guy. He knows what he's doing. He's a good dude. Saving a lot of people money.
Glad to help anyone we can. Everyone and everyone.
Yeah. So do you have to have like, good credit?
600. I think that's like kind of decent credit. It's not like super high. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, man. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm out of questions. I think that you've done a really good job, though. Wow. You're very, very knowledgeable on this. And yeah, I can definitely tell your electrical engineering degree definitely helped for this role.
I'm not sure, but yeah, the biggest thing for us is just like keeping it about super simple, what's in it for them, not getting into the weeds of like the kilowatts and the systems of how everything works.
Man, it's hard to make phone calls about this, because at first glance, virtual power plants seem very confusing. They seem like they're not all that they're like meant to be. But after having this in-depth conversation with you, I'm honestly very surprised of how much of a good impact it can make. And really, the things that stood out to me about VPP Texas was the fact that you are taking advantage of a government program that not many people know about. I mean, 99% of the population does not know about this tax benefit and virtual power plants, right? 99% of people don't know about it. But continue, sorry.
It's probably because it is like a business tax benefit, so the business claims it, and then it gets passed down. So most people don't know of it as a tax credit because they don't have to apply for anything.
Yeah.
Just like the roads, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, shoot. I mean, hey, like, I know that I really get upset like paying taxes. I really I see a lot of people getting Social Security income, but it's not enough. It's not enough money to cover their medical expenses, their health care, their energy bills, getting food, getting gas. But VPP Texas could really help impact lives. And there's a lot of homeowners here in Houston that struggle with their bills, struggle with paying their energy bill, medical, insurance. There's so many bills nowadays. So the fact that y'all are saving people, thousands in the long term, thousands of dollars, and in the short term, hundreds of dollars a year on their energy bill is incredible. And having that extra virtual storage really should give people peace of mind, and especially during the hurricane season, flood season. That's awesome, man. Yeah. I love y'all's company. I love y'all's idea, man. I'm actually so for it. That's awesome.
I'm glad you're a fan. We gotta give you some merch, maybe a hat or a shirt to wear.
Dude, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah.